Hello, and a very Merry Christmas to all of you out there in YouTube land. Oh boy, the Kiser Elves, the helping elves of Kiser. They are alive and well. And let's talk a little bit about that. Um, so, fall 2023, no, it was the end of summer. When I went on Fraud or Troll, and Kiser had to run away because they were going to play my video that was going to out his entire military career. His 3-tour, 2 Purple Heart, Staff Sergeant Ranger, RPG to the grill. The only thing he didn't do is he didn't jump into Fallujah with DeWitt. But so with Shiz putting out his new court date, a show hearing in Alabama on February 5th, 2025 at 9 a.m., there's been a resurgence of focus on Kiser's bullshit stories, his fake marriage, fake daughter, fake 2 houses, fake, you name it. If his lips are moving, he's lying. Everybody knows that, except all of his new elves. Why? Because after I outed him on his military claims, he meticulously went through his entire channel and removed everything. Took it all away. He has yet to show that official VA letter that you get online. He shows a really old VA card, which he probably received when he got that little bit of additional care after he was medically shit-canned his second time around. And I've got the NGB form and his DD-214. I'm going to bring those up because I'm accused of never showing receipts. As a matter of fact, my last video, some of the Kiser Elves popped into the comments. So let's take a quick look at those. So, Sailor XXXXXX. Did you go to the Chris Ryder School of Receipts? You showed none. Your statements are pure opinion. Next, please. My statements are not pure opinion. They are fact. And I have shown the receipts. And Java Man jumped in. He showed them. Yep, I have. I basically said, open your eyes, look at my previous videos. The only one who has never shown receipts is Michael Kiser at Fraud at Wrangler. Kelly Justice jumped in. Obviously, you didn't look at my previous videos where I've posted that stuff. And then in pops elf James Stern. Fraud at Wrangler has mentioned anything in months, but good job believing the videos he's shown were, I don't know what that word is, they aren't. I think he meant recent, but fat fingers typing. They got those little stubby elf hands and chubby fingers for making toys. Yeah. How about covering others on YouTube who begged for money while committing stolen valor rather than being obsessed with just one guy? It's a bit creepish and borderline harassment. Kind of like what Kiser does to Chris Ryder. That's not creepish? That's not borderline harassment? Come on. They even started an LLC trying to dominate the For Public Safety name. Are you shitting me? You've got a person who is part of the justice system, an elected jailer, J.J. Scarborough, who formed an LLC with convicted felons. Really? Good luck with your next campaign. I heard there's somebody that's going to run against you. Best of luck, because all of this will be surfaced, brought right to the top, and probably in all the newspapers. So good luck with that. Anyway, so James said that, and then I said, "Oh, you mean just like Kiser? He takes donations for veterans charities. Tell Staff Sergeant Kiser I said hi." So, and that continues. Um, oh, and did I show everything? No, I didn't. I didn't move it down. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, James Stern. I'm sorry. I gotta pay a little more attention so I can move this around so you guys can see it. All right. So then the next one. This is the rest of that little bit of chat series there. So James, no, he hasn't taken any donations from any veteran charity. Who's telling you this? Not one time has he done so on his channel. He doesn't even ask for them. And I I was like, "Oh, really?" Well, how about this? Straight from his about on the channel. I was asked to put this up here as I will never ask you fine folks to donate. But if you feel compelled, Cash App is Fraudit Wrangler. Also, the two charities I believe in the most are DAV, Disabled American Veterans. I'm surprised he didn't put his dad's supposed nonprofit, whose sole purpose is to help disabled veterans navigate through the VA administration, and the Ronald McDonald House, who provides food and lodging for families of sick children who otherwise couldn't afford to be near their hospitalized child. Let's tug on those feeling strings and get people to send me money that will never go anywhere but in his bank account. That much I can bet. Can't say for sure, but he has never come out and said, "Oh, this past month I received this much in donations, this much went to DAV, this much went to the Ronald McDonald's House." He never said anything about it. And with his ego, if he was doing it, he would have that front and center on all of his videos. He'd have a spreadsheet showing exactly how much he's donated or donations that he's received that he's sent out. So, yeah, no. He's a grifter. Oh, and then I basically responded to that. After that, I said, "You will eventually see that we have the receipts." So a lot of the Kiser Elves in the past have had their eyes opened and have changed their opinion on Kiser. Now, he's, like I said, he meticulously went through his channel and deleted everything. That's why you would see on any of the statistic sites about YouTube channels where he lost a whole bunch of views or lost a whole bunch of this, that, and the other thing. Well, that's because he was deleting those videos. So he was losing that from his statistics. So, yeah, here's the... this is straight. You click the More button on the Fraudit Wrangler channel, and there it is. His grift. It sickens me that that's up there. Because this guy's a convicted felon with 5 open felonies and a show cause trial coming up in February. And he's asking people to send him money so he can send it to DAV and the Ronald McDonald House, rather than just put, if you really want to donate to a charity, donate to DAV and the Ronald McDonald House. You can go directly to those sites and make donations. You don't have to go through a third-party grifter who's going to put that money in his pocket. So, yes. Now, I have been told, let's see, I don't show receipts. I have been told I don't show receipts. Well, I've got his military records straight from the Alabama National Guard. And yeah, why not? Let's take a look at them. Let me just make sure. Yeah. All right, these aren't redacted really well, but I don't care. They sent me a bunch of stuff that really wasn't redacted, and I really needed to blot stuff out. It happens. It happens. So let's take a quick peek. See. Oh, let's move this down a little bit. So this was from his reserve time. Where he spent like a month and a few days. He joined the Army Reserve. It says right up here at the top, block number 2, Army, U.S. Army Reserve. Yep. So he entered active duty 6/18/98 and was separated 7/22/98. It was an uncharacterized. So let's get down to the bottom where the good shit is. It was an uncharacterized discharge. Again, I've said this before. That's only because the military, he wasn't in the military long enough for them to have an opinion about his service. So it's uncharacterized. And he failed to meet procurement medical fitness standards. That can mean a lot of things. There was some talk that it was a bee sting and he had an allergic reaction to it. That could be. You also need to meet the minimum basic physical, PT test stuff. But usually they give you time and basic training. He was only there a month. And probably part of that month was, getting medical treatment. I don't know. And we'll never know because he'll never tell the truth about it. Ever. So he has not completed full term of service. That's in block 17. And yeah, so that's that. So fast forward. Let's go to 2005. Let's take a look at his NGB Form 22, which is the National Guard discharge papers. All right. Report of separation and record of service. So this time, he spent 11 months and 16 days at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, attempting to complete basic training. So my guess is, and we'll never know for sure, he had shin splints, put on med hold, whined about his shin splints, whined about his shin splints, whined about his shin splints, and they got rid of him. The discharge had to have been started within that first 6-month period. So even though he did 11 months, his discharge was pending and it was initiated prior to the 6-month mark. And it's an uncharacterized discharge. Entry-level discharge. And I've gone over this ad nauseum, but just because of the all of the new Kiser Elves that are saying we don't show receipts, I'm showing receipts again. He didn't complete phase 1 or phase 2 of his initial active duty training. So phase 1 is your BCT, phase 2 is your MOS. completed none of it, never finished it, and he received a monetary amount of $29,1240, $2,912 as severance pay, disability severance pay. Whether or not they referred him to the VA, he did have a really old VA card. He might have been referred there for follow-up care on his shin splints. But there's no way he had 5 surgeries while he was still in the military. I doubt he had any surgeries while he was at Fort Leonard Wood. So that's highly doubtful. Maybe through the VA, I don't know. But, and again, we'll never know. Because all he does is lie. He lies about everything. And then the piece de resistance, so to speak, is his National Guard retirement points history statement. This is a history statement that covers all of his military time. Okay? So, as you can see, second line down where the dates are, 1998, 06, 18 to 98, 07, 22. 37 days. 1 month, 19 days total. Creditable service for retired pay. 1 month and 19 days. And then in 2005, 11 months, 16 days. For a grand total of 1 year, 1 month, and 5 days, none of which as a soldier, because he never finished BCT. He could not be considered a soldier. Oh boy. Receipts. Receipts are a bitch. Now, my email, well, it was only one. I sent him an email and he replied back that he would have given me documentation. And I was like, well, what documentation do you have that would refute what your military records are? And crickets. Never got anything back from it. But yet, the Kiser Elves are in a panic. They are freaking the fuck out that he is now got the spotlight on him yet again. But, you know, it's crazy. It's, his Muppets come in here and accuse us of focusing on one person. Ooh, you mean like him? With Chris Ryder? I don't know what his axe to grind with him is. He doesn't like what Chris Ryder puts out on YouTube. All right. Okay. I don't particularly care for it either. But I don't focus. I'm focused on Kiser because he's an asshole and a stolen valor thief. He built his entire channel based on him being a decorated veteran, combat veteran. He couldn't tell you enough about all of his little stories. And none of his stories made sense to any of us true combat veterans. Stone Vet got a hold of me. He says, hey, take a look at this guy. What do you think? My bullshit flags were freaking waving off the poles. They were just waving off the poles when I heard some of his stories. The kinetic energy of an RPG is in no way going to stop a Humvee traveling at 70 miles an hour, which could only travel at 70 miles an hour if you dropped it out of the back of a C-130. Not going to happen. It's physically impossible. Physics come into play. That warhead is not strong enough to do that. So I don't. And usually they were using armor-piercing warheads on the RPGs, the rocket-propelled grenades. So, and then of course we've got the whole shooting thing, where he shot himself. He boo-hooed about that. Then it was a possible failed suicide attempt. Said it was a black guy, came into his house and shot him. When he shot himself, he admitted to that. Um, I'm not sure if he was already a convicted felon at that point or not. I'd have to go back through. There's so much bullshit involved with this guy. If he was a convicted felon and he shot himself, why didn't they charge him for a felon in possession of a weapon? I'm not sure though. I can't say for sure if those dates work together. Um, yeah, so that would be his one of his supposed combat injuries. The frag in the back. Yeah, okay, frag in the back. He had a discectomy, and they fused his spine. His own words. The clips are out there, and I'm not bringing up any of his clips because I get nauseous listening to him spew his bullshit. It really burns and chaps my ass that he claimed all of that stuff, and then come out and say, "Well, I was just building a character for YouTube." No, you weren't. You were trying to fill your pockets with money off the backs of veterans, real veterans. So, with that, you'll burn in hell. I don't care. That's where you're going to end up. Burning in hell. Yes, you will. Hey, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. So I have left the YouTube partnership program. I am no longer monetized. I don't receive any money for ads. I don't receive any super chats. I don't have memberships. I don't have any of that shit. I'm glad to be done with that. It was just such a pain in the ass. I felt obligated to try and get more stuff out. And I'll be truthful, I have been very neglectful of my channel for quite some time. But hey, we're going to get better with that. Especially come February, when everybody starts coming out with all of the trial stuff. So, yeah. Maybe he'll try and get a veteran referral. But I don't think that worked on his previous felonies, so I don't think it's going to work on these. But we'll wait and see what happens. It's definitely going to be interesting. But thank you all. I mean, I've finally got my studio right where I want it. I'm using a Canon EOS RP digital camera for my video. It works fantastic. I've got a really nice 35 millimeter lens on it. I've got some Elgato key lights. I've got the big one and the mini. They work fantastic. You can change the warmth of it, the brightness. They're linked together. You can, I mean, they're just great. They came with stands. I've got a really nice boom stand. And, of course, my Mac Media. It's a great computer, and I do all my videos. I'm using OBS for this. I just like what OBS does. StreamYard, I still use that for my lives, but I've been having some problems with my camera freezing up on StreamYard, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I try to do the video there, but I really like OBS. It works well, and it takes a little more time to get a show set up, but that's okay. So anyway, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I'm going to get another video out before the end of the year, for sure. Yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. My videos are getting noticed more. I'm getting more subscribers ever since I left the YouTube partnership program. So I don't know what that's got to do with anything, but it does. So the channel's doing well. I'm doing well. My family's doing well. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I am really anticipating some great news come February. Have a great day.